this is the direction I'm going to go. So I had a paid off, really nice TRD Pro Tacoma at the time. Basically no money to my name outside of what I could put on a credit card, and I might have had like 10 more grand outside of the truck. Because I'm in this position at the dealership, it did work out really well. They let me rob the dealer on the value of a Ram 2500. So I got, this is like COVID pricing is in full effect for my trade-in.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, my TRD Pro Tacoma I bought for 41 or 42 in 2017. And then 4 years later, with almost 40,000 miles, I got almost dollar for dollar what I paid for it. And we had like a late year model 2500 tradesman, just bare bones, that I could take like 10 grand off the brand new truck price.
Yeah, they were just buying anything because there was just no inventory. I sold a pickup truck myself. The company was doing, we actually just sold our gutter business. And so I had one pickup truck for the gutter company that we sold, and they didn't take the truck. It was a national company that was coming in for market share in the territory, so they already had everything. They just really wanted customer
Get you out of there too.
Yeah, and yeah, they just wanted contracts and customers, and I happily sold it. We did that for 3 years, and it was a lot of work, a lot more work than the junk and dumpster stuff. So I got a good price for it, and I just took all that money and I put it into the dumpster company. But I had the pickup truck, and we were basically just using that for like small jobs. We put like sides on the bed, so we got, I don't know how big that was, but it was enough to do like a quarter load or something, a couple $100 job, and it was easy. It can go on the parkways. We try to use that. You do estimates in and all this stuff. But we were paying for a pickup truck, and I remember that exact time. We really didn't need this truck. We had all these other trucks. I think I had 6 other trucks as well as the pickup truck. I'm like, I don't really need this thing. And I saw those prices, and I was like, go sell this thing.
So even crazier, I met a guy in that time period where trade values were ridiculous. He made over $250,000 that year buying a boat on paper, putting in an order. When the boat got in, he would sell it back to the boat dealer and then order another one.
Oh, really?
And he did that over and over because every time it would
boat arbitrage.
So every time it would, because the boat would sell for 50 grand, 100 grand more than whatever its sticker price was.
My goodness.
Because everything was so hard to get. And yeah, literally he had done like 5 or 6 deals in this like 1 year period or 2 year period, made over $250,000. Just literally not a dollar leaving his bank account. He would just sign for the order would come in, he'd sign it over to the boat dealer, and
there's so many different ways to make money, right?
Crazy. Yeah, COVID like really opened my eyes to like there's some banana stuff that you can do if you figure out these little niche categories, or especially if you had money. If you had money going into COVID, you probably made a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, like, it was
unquestionably ridiculous.
Yes.
So at that point, now I've traded in my Tacoma. I got a 2500, so I have something that can haul. I bought one of the dump trailers cash with what little money I had, and then I went and got financing for 2 more dump trailers. Got the business established. At this point, so what
is this, 2021 now?
This is 21. Yeah, so 21 in June is when I mentally quit.
Okay.
But I stayed at the dealer. We were expecting our second son in December. I didn't want to lose all the insurance benefits and stuff like that. So
there's no reason to jump out of something with both feet. You can do
for sure.
You can do both. Is that what you did? Because I talk to people a lot of times that want to just quit, and they're just like, I just want to go for it. And I go over, I'm like, I don't think that's a good situation based on like how much money you have saved up. Like
yes,
I
would agree with that wholeheartedly. The one thing I will say, I did quit. I just didn't leave the building yet. So it was like, I went from being I'll sell you 20 cars a month and make good money to like, I probably sold 20 cars the last 6 months in total that I was at that dealer. And it was like begrudgingly, if someone walked up and was like, please show me this car, I'd be like, all right. But every second of my day, I was at my desk like, what do I need to know about roofing? What do I need to know about junk? What do I need to know about residential trash? How much should I price? What's my competitor price? I was engulfed in the sphere of dumpster, and I'm in all the Facebook groups, and I'm watching all the YouTube videos and learning about the hitches and it's like you name it. I went down that rabbit hole for 6 months. And yes, it would be like there's 1,000 smarter ways to start a business, but there is no better way to start a business than with like fire and passion, which is what I really had at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went into it into December. We had our second kid. And then from there is when I finally took the leap of faith, which from like a milestone perspective also worked out really well because I officially left the dealer a few months before I turned 30. And 30 just felt like a good year where it was like, after the age of 29, I'm never going to work for someone ever again. This is going to be me. And I might not make any money, but I am going to figure it out. And might not be this year, it might not be the next year, but one of these days, all the pieces are going to line up. We're going to make it happen. So
that's cool.
Yeah, formally started the business in August of 21. Did the first year and change with just the 3 dump trailers, which for all of you out there that are thinking of starting with 3 dumpsters or 3 dump trailers, you can survive, but you're not going to be eating steak and lobster. It's like, you might be able to pay the bills, and hopefully you have a spouse or something that also has a job, because it's a really hard way to make a living with the dumpster. Is it
because of the limited turnover on each
Just,
dumpster?
with dumpsters, it's all about turns. Yeah. And when you only have 3, like, you're in this realm of either I have to sell this thing every single day, which is unrealistic in the sphere of dumpsters. Some people want it. If
someone wants to rent a dumpster, they typically want it for at least a few days.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Right now, the number I've changed this over the course of the years, but typically I'll do a minimum in a week. So like a 2-day and a 7-day, or a 3-day and a 7-day. Right now I'm on a 3-day, but most people, you could sell someone on doing it for a day, but most people are going to go to the next guy if you only offer it for a day.
Yeah.
If you do 2 days, you'll get a lot of residential clients, but you'll have a harder time with the contractors.
Yeah.
Contractors, typically 3 days will work for a lot of them, and then the ones that 3 days doesn't work on, they're probably going to go to the bigger company that lets it sit there for a month and charges pennies. Yes. There's a company actually here in Tampa, I think the rumor has it they have like 600 cans.
Okay.
And they'll drop a can for less for a month than I do for a 3-day. Yeah. And it's like, that's just, you're not my customer at that point. I'll let
exactly.
you move on.
You don't fight over every single customer.
For sure.
Know who your customer is, your ideal customer, and just go after those people. Don't try to fight for everyone, because like in my business, so I have 104 20-yard roll-offs.
Just 20s?
Only 20s.
It's a logistical beautiful thing.
That's why I did it. I started with just 3 dumpsters, and that was the plan the entire time. I always have kind of a contrarian viewpoint on things. I think it's worked very well for me. The gutter business was very contrarian in how I set that up as well, because we did guaranteed prices based on square footage and levels of home, and every other gutter business in the area did personal quotes for every single one. The quoting process was way longer. They had to schedule to get a tech out there to look at it, then send the quote, and then they were booked out however many weeks. And so I saw like that stuff, and I was just like, that's the pain point.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to make it frictionless. And so
keep it simple, stupid.
4,000 square feet or less for a 1-story home, it was like $167. 2-story home was $198. I wanted to keep it beneath $200.
How often are you guys going out for something like that? So like once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year?
Sometimes 3 times a year. So it was like there was a spring season, and then the fall season was sometimes a double.
And that's also based on the customer and what they want. Like some people will do once a year, but
depending
others,
on the trees surrounding the house.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, and it was contractual, so people can sign up for these contracts. But where I shined in the gutter business was simplicity and 0 friction.
Yeah.
And so it was guaranteed prices. So people would submit a form online with the home address. I would just use the technology. I'd look it up on Google Earth, and I would just confirm with them, usually on the phone. I'd just be like, is this your house? Sometimes the houses change, but for the most part, they don't. You find them on Zillow. You see the house, and you're just like, okay, all the details are there. I'm looking at the house. I don't need anything else. Like, here's your price. And they're like, oh, you don't have to come out? I'm like, no, here you go. Literally same day. And they're like, all right, well, yeah, let's do it. When can you come out?
And I'm sure that speed of implementation also got a lot more people to sign up than Like if I have to wait a week to get a quote, maybe I'm not even turned on to the idea by the time you get out there, and then I got to wait for you to actually send me the number.
Because people want to check the to-do list box off, right?
Well, it's like I'm thinking of it right now.
Yeah,
if I get my answer, I'll make the decision. But if I got to rethink about it later, I might. Yeah.
And that applies to any service business.
All kinds of stuff.
And so that was the whole thing, and we signed on hundreds of people very quickly, to the point where I couldn't even sustain the business. I had to then start hiring subcontractors who would come in, and I'm managing subcontractors, and we had all these things. And I only did cleaning. So that was another thing. There was no gutter company out there that only did cleaning. They did repairs and installations, and they went after these big money projects and things of that nature, copper gutters and all this fancy stuff, because we were in a pretty affluent area. But I just did cleaning. That's it. If you had gutter guards, we didn't do it. Sorry, we can't help you. Going after your customer. Who's your customer?
Yeah.
My customer was a 1-story or a 2-story house.
Yeah, I don't want to go up on a 3-story roof, clean your gutters.
It was just, it was easy, it was simple, it was repetitive. People can just knock these houses out, and it was just relationship building and just recurring revenue every single year. And then 3 years in, and we sold it for a 6-figure deal, and I just put that into the dumpster company. And then same thing with just 20 yarders, because I was just looking at the numbers. I'm very analytical.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how can we make mistakes in dumpsters? And one of the big one is delivering it the wrong size.
Yep.
Or if you don't have enough dumpsters, if you're going to start small with like 3 dumpsters, what I did, well, how do you have like enough size? Like if you try to emulate these big businesses, you're just going to end up shooting yourself in the foot, because you can't compete with them. They've got 10 different size dumpsters, and they sell them all, and they have every single size. They have enough inventory for that size, and then they're constantly, the windshield time is just so much higher, because this guy 30 minutes away has a 10-yarder, but then the guy where there's a dump next to him and the other guy is right next to the dump, but he wants a 20. It's like, well, you're screwed.
For sure.
You got to go, bring it back, dump it, switch the dump. I mean, look at how much more time.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
You know what I mean?